galera, Kiko Loureiro aqui na Califórnia, no Swing House Studios, com o Phil, que é o Relações Artísticas da Dadário, e vamos conversar um pouco com ele então, para saber exatamente o que é ser um A&R, ou Relações Artísticas. How are you, Phil? Good?
Good, thanks.
Great. So you are the A&R for Dadário Strings, right?
Yes, I do West Coast A&R in the United States for Dadário, Evans drumheads, Pro-Mark sticks, and Planet Waves cables.
Perfect.
So it's all owned by the same company.
Yeah. And what is exactly an A&R?
A&R?
Yeah.
We hang around with guys like you.
It sounds like the perfect job.
Yeah, we go, hey,
Yeah.
that was pretty good. That was a good lick, you know. Here's some strings. Here's a pick.
Wow, that's perfect. But so, tell me about the artists you hang out.
Well,
in California.
The cool thing is that before I was an A&R, I owned the studio, Swing House, and all the bands come through here, from England, from East Coast, from other countries, from a lot of Australia, a lot of England, a lot of Mexico. They all come through here when they're going to play or tour in California. A lot of bands either recording Los Angeles or they start their tours in Los Angeles. So I get to meet so many bands just coming through randomly. And so 5 years ago, Dadário came to me and they said, Phil, you know all these bands already. They come through your studio already. Why don't you do A&R for us for the bands that are already right here in front of you? So it made my job very easy that I could just meet bands by just going to work.
Yeah.
You know, I just come to work. Oh, hey.
They come to you.
They come to me, yeah. So, hey, what strings do you play? Dadário. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really
If
good.
not, you say
If not, then I say, oh, yeah. I go, oh, what? Get out of here. No, I say, no.
Everyone's the same, you know.
Yeah. So, but you know, if I always encourage them to try, you know, some people, you know, they're into their strings, and that's a very important part of their sound. I don't want to force them to change. But if they say they're unhappy, or they say, oh, you know, lots of times, lots of roadies, guitar techs are here, and they're like, he's breaking strings, he's out of tune all the time. I can say, well, here, try this.
Yeah.
And if you like it, you know, I'll help you. And I've met a lot of great bands that way, and a lot of great Dadário artists, you know. A great band, a great American band, like kind of indie rock, Americana style band called Band of Horses. Mm-hmm. They came here, and I met them, and I was a big fan of them. I was like, I really like your guys' music. And they go, yeah. I go, what strings do you play? And they go, well, we really like Dadário, but we don't know anybody there. And I was like, oh, that's me. Perfect.
Now you know.
Perfect. And then we've had many other great, legendary Dadário guitar players come through here. One of my favorites of all time is John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who, he's not only just a great guitar player, funky Chili Peppers, but he is just a great guitar player of all styles.
Yeah.
Metal, hard rock, punk, funk, folk. He could do everything, you know.
So they rehearsed here.
So they rehearsed here when John was in the band. He's not in the band anymore.
Yeah.
But when John was in the band, they rehearsed here for like 7-8 years. And so I would watch them write all the new songs, and I would watch them jam and play. And some of my most favorite moments of being in the studio here was watching John play with Chad Smith before official rehearsal started, and they would be just jamming, you know, walking.
Coming earlier?
Come early and just start jamming. And they would do things like play Van Halen 1 and 2 album in its entirety. Every lick, every solo, all the hammer-ons. Like, you know, you don't think John Frusciante is going to do hammer-ons, but he knew all of it. And then I watched him do Black Sabbath, you know, like Black Sabbath first record, you know, in order. And then go into other more things like more esoteric and atmospheric, like Miles Davis, Jimi Hendrix style jams. That were just,
70s fusion kind of.
yeah, where it's just, you know, drums and bass, and then Flea would come in a little bit later and just start playing, and it just turns into this, you know, musical genius type stuff where you're just like, this is, you know, these are moments like if Miles Davis was here or if Jimi Hendrix was here, this is what it would sound like, you know.
If Miles thing.
Yeah, exactly. He would have wanted them. He would be like, yeah, I'm starting my new band with you. So that was really fun, you know, getting to have those experiences and get it through my studio. So it made perfect sense for me to work for Dadário and promote, and also help the artists that I'm already around get them into the products.
Sure.
And also at the same time, there's a lot of younger bands who come through here, not famous.
And
I can see them growing up.
Yeah.
I see them getting bigger and bigger, and I help them from the beginning. There's 2 or 3 bands that are really up and coming in America right now that are really good, and I met them when they were just starting, and I got them onto Dario, and then they started growing up, and it's really good. And one of the bands is a band called Black Veil Brides, and they're like a hard rock, glam, real positive. Sunset Strip looking, but real positive lyrics.
Okay.
Real positive lyrics, and but they look like Motley Crue, big hair, really good stage show, big stage presence. It's like Kiss, it's like Kiss and Motley again, and they're bringing that back, and they're bringing back a show, and it's good, really good music, but really fun stage show too. And so we brought them on early, and now they're becoming really, really, really popular, and their new record's about to come out in January, I think, and it's their 2nd record on Atlantic Records. And then so I'm really excited about them as an up and coming band. And then there's another one with 2 girls in the band called Dead Sarah.
Okay.
And Dead Sarah, it's like indie rock but hard, like rock, like Nirvana, but with a girl singer who has this great, amazing voice, almost like a Janis Joplin style voice. And I knew them because they would rehearse and do showcases. Rehearse and do showcases, and I was like, I like them. I'm like, but they're not quite there yet. And then just in the past couple of years, like 2 years ago, they got a new bass player and drummer, and it just opened up. And so Emily is the singer, and she plays guitar, and then Susie is the lead guitar player, and she's a great guitar player. When they got the rhythm section, they took it to a whole new place. And I said, I'm
And then you're kind of discovering the bands.
Helping, exactly, and bring them to Dario, and then also I helped them get on shows and helped, like if someone, we in LA, Swing House, we produce a lot of concerts and shows and stuff, so I can suggest to the promoters, say, hey, Dead Sarah's really good up and coming, you should check them out, or Black Veil Brides is really good up and coming. And we produced this festival called the Sunset Strip Music Festival, and I suggested both those bands, and they both got on them as the opener, and then after that they got bigger and bigger, and so it was nice to see that I can help them with strings, and I could be a fan of their music, but then I could also help them with a career. Like they got a good show that helped get them to other shows, and Dead Sarah now is opening up for Muse. They got to open up the Muse tour this next year coming at the beginning of the year. So that's amazing. That's as good as you can get for that style of music in America. And then Black Veil Brides, they opened up 2 years ago for a Sunset Strip Music Festival. Now they're selling out, venues, a couple thousand seat venues, everywhere they go in America. So it's nice to see the progression from the baby bands. You see the famous rock stars like John Frusciante and Chili Peppers and people like that, and then you see the baby bands, and you see them grow, and it's very fun to see that. And so I try to help promote. I'm not always just looking for rock stars. I'm looking for the new, unknown stars. And those are the people that if you help them early on, they'll stick with you forever. And they remember it, And it's like when you got your first guitar strings, and you remember who helped you, what it felt like, So that's it. That's the fun part of it. And then the other parts of it is that everybody wants they want to get an endorsement deal. Everybody wants free strings. Everybody wants this, but they don't know why you should have them or what you should get. Why you should get them. And yes, number one, you got to be a great guitar player, or great drummer, or whatever. You got to be very special in your instrument. But they think that's all you need to do.
Yeah. What else?
Well, give me free strings. What else? And they're like, no, you have to, like we said earlier, you have to tour all the time. You have to be in front of an audience, exposure all the time. You can be a great guitar player in your bedroom, and play a gig in your hometown, for all your friends, but that's good, but you need to go, make a career, build your career, like you did. You've been building your career for 20 years, and now you're established no matter what you want to do, and a lot of artists don't realize it takes that long. There's no easy...
You have to have fun during this, of course, always enjoying them.
You have to love it.
Yeah, of course.
have to love
So
it.
what else do you think that the young musicians have to get an endorsement, or to get closer to an A&R guy?
In today's
Convince an A&R.
in today's society, also now it's the internet. You have to have social media activity and be savvy and be interesting on the internet. You have to have followers. You have to have engagement with your fans and friends online all the time. And then that way, people pick up on, oh, what, everybody likes...
Do you think this substitutes a little bit the touring?
A little bit, but you don't get a career without touring. You are not going to be a musician for the rest of your life unless you tour.
Yeah.
You can't just do it from your house. We know a lot of bands who are big on the internet, or a lot of videos big on the internet, and then you go see them on tour and there's 100 people there, right? You need to build it, one little bit at a time. And bands like Dead Sarah and Blackfield Rights, that's what they did. They just kept going.
Both ways, right?
Both ways. One helps the other, and then that spreads the word faster. They don't get on TV anymore. There's no MTV, or if there is, they don't play a lot of.
No music.
No music videos. So it's a lot different. So social media is a big deal to us, and tagging and mentioning our products, showing pictures of the products, because kids, you bought a guitar or strings because you saw, or an amp because you saw the ad in the Guitar Player magazine.
My heroes.
Your heroes. You see it on stage, you go, oh, Eddie's got that, or Jimmy plays the Les Pauls, so it's like that's what you want to get. And so it's the same thing now on the internet. So if they see them playing and talking about our products, then the kids everybody else will want to buy it and like it. It spreads the word. And it's instead of TV commercials and TV show and rock concerts on TV, it's on the internet. So that's a big deal. So you got to be working to be a professional band that tours a lot, and then also to social media, and then also be just really good and honest about your music. What you want.
It's good advice.
Yeah. And then the one last thing I wanted to say about that is that don't try to get an endorsement deal just to get free stuff. Get an endorsement deal because you love the product, the brand, and the way it feels on your fingers.
And you want to do a commitment with the
brand,
like a partnership.
Yes, you stick with it. Because you can't go from one year to the next, switching. Of course, sometimes you do switch after a certain amount of time, where you change your style or you develop something. But
sometimes the brand changes.
Yeah, sometimes the brand doesn't help out anymore. It changes its look or its style or its sound, and that's
quality.
Quality. Sometimes they get made in a different factory and things. But overall, if you're looking for an endorsement deal, look for a brand that you want to stick, that you trust, and that you want to trust. And the thing about D'Addario is that
it's easy to trust, right?
We base our whole life on what the player says to us and what the artist says to us, and that makes a big deal to us.
Yeah.
We really care from Jim, the CEO, the president and the owner of D'Addario, to everybody down the line, to our whole A&R staff, and to the product guys who are building it and designing it. All we care about is what they're going to think when they play it, what you're going to think. And we all play too, so we know how it feels. We've got to feel good. Or else, we can't just throw something out there that's cheap, just so kids can afford it. We want to throw something out there that's good, and then and affordable. And
they've been doing this for 100 years, right?
Yeah, 200 years.
200.
Family-owned company, hundreds of years. Family-owned company, and it's been amazing. Started in Italy and came to America, to New York, and now it's all made in America. The string factories, the heads, cables, everything's made, there, right next to the offices, so they can come out and check and watch it, and quality, and it's a big deal. That's what it takes.
Thanks for your advice.
Yeah, thank you.